Overseen by the UK PSA, the discipline is a dynamic form of shooting, which contains multiple types of targets, such as moving, partially covered, and more, that the shooter must successfully hit or face a penalty for failing to engage or missing the target. The shooter is to adapt to the shooting stage, which may also include physical obstacles. There are many rules and start options to follow, all of which can be found on the UK PSA website or your shotgun safety course. Now, I received my practical shotgun training course at my local firearms club, learning how to shoot the sport, but most importantly the safety aspects, especially when it comes to muzzle angle, unbagging and bagging your shotgun. Multiple targets were demonstrated to ourselves before we ran over the different stages of the course, which were relatively basic and low target count due to the poor weather that day. I was using my Winchester SXP 2+1 configuration, as I do not yet have my firearms license and so I am limited to the capacity. However, I wanted to be introduced to the sport and have a go. Now, it isn't ideal competing with a 2+1 config shotgun. Obviously, UK law, however, only permits me to have this under a shotgun certificate. Of course, when I get my firearms certificate, the first thing I'm going to be doing is getting a Section 1 shotgun, which will allow me to have 10, 11, or even more cartridge capacity, which will certainly be an advantage to myself during shooting. It is a lot of fun. I certainly recommend it to anybody who wants to do something different and shoot targets on the move and face obstacles. I cannot wait until I get 10+1 configuration or something else. I've been looking at the Benelli Speed, Benelli Nova Speed, hoping I can get my hands on one of those over the coming months. As you can see in the videos, I did not have a shooting belt that had shotgun caddies on them. Like, you can get proper mag load ones, but they're very expensive. So I purchased some add-ons on eBay, shotgun caddies, that allow for dual and quad loading of the shotgun. This will allow me to do much faster reloads in the future and partaking in competitions more realistic times to kind of compete with the other people. Now, I also have purchased dummy cartridges from Magload since to safely practice my reloads at home. As you can see in this video, the gun has no live rounds in, but instead dummy training cartridges, which don't have any primer, so the cartridge cannot go bang. So that is it for my very rough sort of overview and introduction to practical shooting for myself. Now, I'm early in the stages in getting into practical shotgun, and so I have a lot to learn, a lot to work with, but I am very, very excited to say the least. It's a sport that's certainly quite different, certainly very more exciting, especially because of the dynamic sort of movement aspect you don't get with clay shooting, and I have an excuse to use a pump action, which is always great fun. Now, there's a lot of things recently that have been going on, and I haven't been able to get down to the shooting range as much as I should be able to, which is why there's a bit of lack of content at the moment, but be rest assured, over the coming month or two, that should be cleared up as soon as I get my firearms certificate. I should be getting my own rifles, and we should be good to go with more shooting, which will be a lot of fun, especially because I can go down whenever I want, and I'm not limited by the armory open times at the club. Now, there's a lot of things I also didn't mention in this video that are related to the IPSC, such as the shotgun classes, the rules, start options and so forth. But this isn't what this video is for as such. It's not a rundown of the rule set, rundown of specifically what practical shotgun is. It's just kind of like a little introduction of what I'm getting into and some future content that might be a bit more interesting and clay shooting on this channel that some people might be interested in. Anyway, that's it for today, and I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos.